Hello, and welcome to the Project Wingspan Plant Identification Training webinar. Now that you're more familiar with the ins and outs of seed collection, we'll be providing a brief overview of the plant species we'll be collecting, including their ecology and some identification tips. All information provided in this webinar is also available for future review in our seed collection manual that is available for download on our website. For a little bit of review, this project is focusing on 8 counties surrounding the San Francisco Bay. Throughout this project area, we are working to locate populations of native plants, collecting seed, and finding active pollinator habitat projects to support. There are 12 native plant species that are included on our target plant list, including 4 species of milkweeds as illustrated here on this bloom chart. The species were selected because of their value to pollinators, either as larval host plants, nectar and forage plants, or in many cases, all of the above. We selected species that bloom throughout the growing season and have a diversity in flower morphology to meet the diverse needs of pollinators. Since we are working on a multi-county effort, and given California's many microclimates and ecoregions, there is considerable variation in environmental conditions across the landscape. Therefore, species occurrences and distribution are varied within the project area. Because of this, not all species shown on this chart here will be collected in every county. Please note that specific bloom times will vary between collection sites. You can find more information on each of the species' bloom times, more specifically to your home location, through your local Native Plant Society chapters, field guides, and web resources. Throughout this video, I'll be referring to various standard botanical descriptive terms. However, please do not worry if you are not already familiar with these. You can find and download reference charts with all of Project Wingspan materials on our website. It may also be helpful to pick up an additional reference field guide that is specific to the Western United States, California, or better yet, the specific area you are working in. This will provide reference for other flora you will encounter on the landscape and may help with identification. As a reminder, you will find in-depth plant descriptions, including key identification characteristics and additional photos of the species we are targeting in the Plant Profiles document on the Project Wingspan website. Please refer to these documents when planning and performing a collection. Now let's meet the species. As most of you know, species in the milkweed genus, Asclepias, are the only plants that monarch caterpillars can eat. We are including 4 species of milkweeds in our collection efforts for Project Wingspan in an effort to support increased monarch oviposition or egg laying in Northern California. These include narrow-leaf milkweed, showy milkweed, heartleaf milkweed, and woolly pod milkweed. Asclepias fascicularis, or narrow-leaf milkweed, is a slender-stemmed perennial that typically grows 2 to 4 feet tall. It has long, narrow leaves arranged in opposite pairs and produces clusters of small, pink to pale lavender flowers, arranged in rounded umbels or rounded groupings of flowers that resemble umbrellas. The plant is common in dry grasslands, roadsides, and open scrub habitats. Like other milkweed, it produces a white sap when damaged. Seed pods ripen in late summer to fall. When the pods turn yellowish or gray-brown and begin to split open, the seeds inside should be dark brown and firm, surrounded by white, silky fluff. Avoid pods with holes or signs of insect damage. Collect the pods when they are just beginning to open and place them in the paper bag. Once dry, you can gently remove the seeds from the fluff in a wind-free location. Asclepias speciosa, or showy milkweed, lives up to its name with large, star-shaped pink to purplish flowers, arranged in spherical clusters at the top of its stems. The plant grows up to 4 feet tall and has broad, oval leaves with a gray-green hue and soft, velvety texture. It's commonly found in open fields, roadsides, and disturbed areas. The stems and leaves often have a fine coating of hairs and produce a thick, white sap when broken. Seed pods mature in late summer into early fall. As they ripen, the pods turn a dull yellow or grayish-brown and begin to split open along the seed. Inside, mature seeds are brown and plump and attached to a silky white fluff. Pods with holes or signs of insect activity should be avoided. Harvest entire pods when they are dry and beginning to open, but before the seeds have started to disperse. Store in a paper bag and process in a wind-sheltered area to prevent losing the lightweight seeds. Asclepias cordifolia, or heartleaf milkweed, is a long-lived perennial growing about 1 to 3 feet tall. True to its name, the opposite, hairless, leathery leaves of this plant are shaped like a heart, and they clasp at its stem. It is also known as purple milkweed due to the deep purple color of the stem holding the inflorescence and the recurved petals on the flowers. This species blooms in late spring and summer, producing umbels on long pedicels. Each flower has white or pale purple hoods, contrasting with dark purple petals. Seeds are found in green or purple tear-shaped pods. Seeds can be collected in summer when pods dry out and appear slightly shriveled. The seeds on the inside should be a medium brown color. Collect the entire pod and place it in a paper bag. Once you are in a location out of the wind, you can split the pod open and remove your seeds with your hands. Asclepias areocarpa, or woolly pod milkweed, is a robust, upright plant that can reach up to 3 feet tall. It is easily recognized by its dense covering of fine, white hairs, which give the leaves and stems a soft, woolly appearance. The leaves are narrow and lance-shaped, arranged in whorls or opposite pairs along the stem. Clusters of creamy white to pale pink flowers appear at the top of the plant in early to mid-summer. Each flower cluster is shaped like an umbel, a rounded grouping of flowers that resemble an umbrella. Seed pods ripen in late summer to fall. When the pods turn green to pale yellow or grayish-brown and begin to split along the seam, they're ready for collection. Inside, the seeds should be dark brown and plump, attached to silky white hairs, known as coma, that aid in wind dispersal. Avoid collecting pods with holes, which often indicates insect damage. Collect the entire pod and store it in a paper bag. You can open the pod later and gently separate the seeds from the fluff in a sheltered area. Although it may seem obvious, we want to avoid collecting pods that are infested by milkweed beetles or other insects as they can damage the seed, making it non-viable. Milkweed beetles in particular will not eat their way into the pods, but will wait for the pod to open. Achillea millefolium, or common yarrow, is a hardy, drought-tolerant perennial recognized by its flat-top clusters of white flowers and finely divided fern-like leaves. The plant grows 1 to 3 feet tall and is common in grasslands, open woodlands, and along roadsides. The blooms appear from late spring into early fall and attract a wide range of pollinators. Seed is ready to collect once the flower heads have fully dried to a tan or light brown color. Ripe seeds are tiny, pale grayish in color, and located in the flattened, dry seed heads. The easiest way to collect is to cut the seed heads off and gently rub them over your collection bag to dislodge the seeds. While yarrow seeds are not wind dispersed, it is still best to process them in a sheltered area to avoid losing seeds during handling. Solidago velutina californica, or California goldenrod, is a native perennial with tall, slender stems topped by dense clusters of small, bright yellow flowers. It can grow up to 3 feet tall and often spreads in colonies. The leaves are narrow and lance-shaped, with slightly rough texture. Goldenrod typically blooms in late summer to early fall and is found in grasslands, open forests, and riparian areas. Seed is ready for collection about a month after flowering, once the flower head begins to dry and turn brown. You'll know it's time when the white, fluffy seed structures begin to expand. Clip the entire flower head and place it in the paper bag. Collect in a wind-sheltered location to prevent the lightweight, wind-dispersed seeds from blowing away. Mature seeds are small, brown, and should feel firm and plump. Symphyotrichum chilense, or Pacific aster, is a coastal perennial that grows up to 3 feet tall with slender, branching stems and narrow green leaves. Its small, daisy-like flowers range from lavender to pale purple with yellow centers. It typically blooms from late summer into fall and is commonly found in coastal grasslands, bluffs, and forest edges. Seeds are mature when the flower heads dry out and the white, fluffy seed structures begin to expand. Clip off the entire seed head and place it in a paper bag. Like goldenrod, this species relies on wind for dispersal, so collect and process seeds in a sheltered area to avoid losing them. Ripe seeds are dark, dry, and firm. Avoid collecting seeds that are flat or pale in color. Lupinus albifrons, or silver bush lupin, is a bushy perennial with silver, hairy foliage and spikes of bluish-purple to violet flowers. It grows 2 to 5 feet tall and is often found on dry slopes, in chaparral, or along roadsides. Its distinctive silvery palmate leaves, shaped like a hand with outstretched fingers, are another key ID feature. Seed pods form after flowering and ripen in late spring or early summer. Ripe pods turn from green to grayish-brown and may begin to split. Check inside to ensure the seeds are plump and brown. Green seeds are not yet mature. You can either clip the entire stalk containing the pods or harvest individual pods by gently pulling them from the stem. Be cautious when handling pods, as they can pop open and release seeds. Peel or crack the pods apart later in a sheltered area to collect the seeds. Clarkia purpurea, or wine-cup clarkia, is an annual wildflower known for its delicate, cup-shaped blooms in shades of lavender, pink, or purple. often with darker spots near the base of the petals. It typically grows 1 to 2 feet tall, with slender, branching stems and narrow leaves. This species blooms in late spring to early summer and is often found in dry, open habitats like grasslands, chaparral, and foothill slopes. After flowering, the plants produce thin, cylindrical seed pods about an inch long. These pods dry from green to a pale yellow-brown and begin to split open from the top when the seeds are mature. When collecting, it's easiest to snip off the entire stem that holds multiple pods and place them upside down in your collecting bag. This allows the ripe seeds to fall into the bag and the pods to continue to dry. Seeds are small, brown, and oval-shaped. Cicerantium bellum, or blue-eyed grass, is a delicate-looking but hardy native perennial that grows in clumps. Despite its name, it's actually part of the iris family. Plants have slender, flat, grass-like leaves and small, violet to purplish blue flowers with yellow centers. It typically blooms in spring and early summer and grows low to the ground, often in meadows, open woods, or moist grasslands. After blooming, the flowers develop into small, round seed capsules that turn dark brown and harden as they mature. The seed is ready when the capsule has fully dried and may begin to split at the seams. To collect, clip the capsule directly into your collection bag. Seeds can be released by gently pressing or allowing the capsules to open on their own. Mature seeds are smooth, round, and a very dark brown to black. Phacelia californica, or rock phacelia, is a spreading perennial that typically grows along coastal bluffs, rocky slopes, and open woodlands. It has coarse, hairy stems and leaves, with flowers that are light purple to lavender and arranged along a curved flower spike known as a scorpioid cyme. The foliage is green and covered in stiff hairs that can cause skin irritation, so gloves are recommended when handling. Seed ripens from spring through summer, and the flower spikes gradually dry from the base upward, with older flowers forming papery seed capsules as newer ones continue to bloom near the tip. When the spike is fully dry and brown, collect by clipping off the entire flower head or stripping the seed capsules into your collection bag. Seeds are a medium brown color and may be released by gently shaking or rubbing the dried flower head. Eschscholzia californica, or the California poppy, is a low-growing wildflower with bright orange to yellow cup-shaped blooms that close in cooler or low-light conditions. The foliage is light green to silvery and finely divided, giving the leaves a feathery appearance. After flowering, the plant produces long, narrow seed capsules, typically 2 to 3 inches in length, with visible ridges along the sides. Seeds are ready for collection when the green capsules dry to a tan color and develop darker streaks or splotches. As the capsules ripen, a seam will begin to split lengthwise. Ideal timing for collection is just before the seam opens, as the capsule may open and disperse seeds if left too long. Collect the entire capsule and place it in a paper bag. Capsules will open on their own during storage, releasing the seeds, sometimes quite suddenly and with a pop. Mature seeds are about 1 millimeter in size, round, and dark brown to black. Thank you for watching this webinar. You are now just a few steps away from completing your training through Project Wingspan. Next, you will need to complete the contact form on our website so that we know you have completed these trainings. After that is complete, we will alert you to when we schedule seed collection activities in your area. Then you'll be ready to get outside and collect seed. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to our team listed here. Thank you again, and we're so excited to have you get involved.